Your inner critic is at it again. Same old, completely different day. But now you're recognizing the patterns. Now you're recognizing that voice and declaring it's not your own. So today we're going to work with the maiden, mother, and crone archetypes. And we're going to pull a message of guidance to help you through this period where you're combating that ever present voice, the one that turns your mind into a desolate, barren wasteland from all of the cruelty and hate and criticism. This is your friendly reminder. If you're catching the replay, you can always 2x your speed or hit the timestamps below to jump straight to the message. This intro is going to be a little bit different, a little bit longer, and Kayla's doing something scared. So you may not enjoy this intro, and that's okay. I may get pooped on for it, and that's okay. But the medicine's so strong right now that I have to share it, guys. I have to. Okay, so the cards that I was working with before going live, we're going to do an energy check. At the 3 of Swords, the 9 of Cups, and the 6 of Wands. Now, on my way here, I have been singing It Is Well with my soul over and over and over again. And it's been such good medicine for me. It's been a song I've loved my entire life, a hymn I've loved. And I learned the story about where this song came from when I was in high school. My high school band director shared the story with everyone before a concert with the audience. And it stuck with me for a long time. And it's helped me keep my life in perspective and to always anchor me in what's really important, what's valuable, ties you back to the peace that can be found within, even in the darkest of times. So Horatio Spafford is the American lawyer who wrote the lyrics to It Is Well with My Soul. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but Horatio had experienced a trifecta of just devastation and travesty in his life. In 1870, his only son, his 4-year-old, died from scarlet fever. The very next year, 1871, the Great Chicago Fire ripped through Chicago and destroyed all of his real estate investments. That's 2 major life events back to back, culminating in this terrible tragedy. In 73, he decided that his family needed to change the scenery, that they needed a break, right? They needed a fresh start, a reset, right? So he decided to send his family to Europe for a break. Now, unfortunately, business stuff came up and Horatio had to stay behind. And his plan was to catch up with them later, right? I'll take a ship in a couple of days and I'll join you in England. Well, away, his wife and 4 daughters were crossing the Atlantic, and there was a terrible, terrible wreck, collision between another ship, I think it was an iron ship. And all 4 of his daughters perished. When his wife was finally rescued and recovered, she was found unconscious, passed out on wreckage. She sent him a telegram, and I might start crying because it made me cry earlier. She sent him a telegram. Saved alone. Alone, guys, by herself. Oh, it's going to make me cry. And so when Horatio was crossing the ocean to join his wife, the captain of the ship pointed out when they reached the spot where his children had perished. And he said, "It is well with my soul, despite what's happening." Oh, can you guys imagine? Can you imagine that strength? Could you imagine what his inner critic was saying inside? How dare you send your family across the ocean without you? You could have saved them. How dare you? Could you imagine his inner critic? I know how bad mine has been, so I can't imagine. So when the 3 of Swords, which is all about heartbreak and pain and loss, and then the 9 of Cups, it's like your wishes fulfilled, losing the wishes of your life. that family that you value more than anything. But then still choosing to say, it is well. It is well, because my soul is always well, right? Recognizing that his 4 children, they all had souls, their soul family, that this life is, temporary, it's fleeting, but the soul can never be destroyed. And so those souls he'll meet again. Whew. Let's see, do I have anything else? No. But I want to share the song with you guys in case you haven't heard it. You probably have, because who hasn't heard it? But I'm very nervous, so don't shit on me. And it's not going to be how I normally sing, because I'm in the office and I'm super paranoid that people are going to hear me. I can sing in front of a camera to strangers, but I don't want people right beside me to hear me. That's funny how that works, isn't it? So I just invite you to sit in the medicine of this song. Think of Horatio and Anna. His wife's name was Anna. And their grief. Think of your own grief. But think about how in this moment, in this present moment, you have air in your lungs. You have light from the sun or the moon or the stars. You have the ability to be here and experience this life and the challenges, the tragedy that come with that. How can you settle into that peace and that presence? Okay. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. Can you say it is well with your soul? It feels so good to be able to sit in that, to sit in the wellness of the soul, in the wholeness of the soul, in the fullness of the soul, despite everything falling apart in your life. And it hardly ever happens. It's just one thing. Just like Horatio's story, it's always everything happening at the same time. Can you find the steadiness and the peace within you? I invite you to do that, okay? Last but not least, I want to read a quote from one of my favorite books ever. I've read it like a million times. It's all like flipped up. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. And I thought it really went really well with this message, because she lives with a monster in her brain. Okay. And I thought this was a very interesting way to think of the inner critic. Still, it was the first time I stopped fearing the nightmare. Does anybody else recognize their inner critic as a nightmare? I have. The voice in my head, the creature with strange yellow eyes and an eerie, smooth voice. Isn't the inner critic always so convincing? Delivers the message just exactly the way that needs to be to land in your system. But you get to a point where you recognize that's not you. And so you can get to this recognition 11 years later, and I don't fear him at all, even if I should. So if you guys like fantasy novels, if you like Gothic literature, highly recommend this book. It's the duology, the Shepherd King duology. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and do some breath work to get started. Let's see. We're going to breathe in for 6, hold for 2, and breathe out for 8. Breathwork helps you connect to the present moment, which is how you know your soul is well, because your soul is always present. Okay. So we'll do 3 rounds of this breathing in through the nose, holding for 2, and then out through the mouth. You ready? Let's begin. Very nice. If you find any tension in your body, just continue to come back to your breath. It works every single time. All right, guys, the way this is going to work, I'm going to pull a message from the Maiden, Mother, and Crone for the inner critic guidance we need. Then we'll pull, I actually brought the Oracle deck I was mentioning a couple of days ago, the Medicine Heart Oracle by Alana Fairchild. So good. It's Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. So we'll pull one of these cards. And then at the very end, we're going to pull a vagus nerve card to help you regulate your nervous system, to ground this message into your body, carry it forward with you. And then after that, I will change the banner and I will take personal readings. If you cannot stay, you can go ahead and put it in the chat and I will do the reading at the very end and you can catch it in the replay. I always put timestamps for where the personal reading starts. So if you really have a question you're interested in, just put your name and question in the chat and I will get to it at the very end, as long as there's not a million, which I don't see that happening right now. All right. All right. Can we have some guidance, please, for this collective? The inner critic is at it again. What does this collective need to know? Thank you. Oh, man, I'm going to have to use Google. Oh, man, Ma'at is at the bottom of the deck. Love Ma'at. I want to get the Egyptian depiction of her tattooed on me so badly. It's really funny. If you guys have ever looked into Egyptian gods and goddesses and all that stuff, and you see Isis and other gods that are much more commonly known, and every time I see anything in Egypt, the only thing that ever resonates with me is Ma'at, and she is, justice, truth, order of things, and just wands. The High Priestess. Oh, I love seeing this. And then again, the Three of Swords. So this was in the thumbnail. Repeat cards, obviously some pain. This could have something to do with relationships. I'm not sure. I am going to put something else up. If you guys will answer the poll for me moving forward, I want to make sure I'm doing readings that are aligned with what you actually need. This is one way for us to do it. All right. And then now we're going to pull a message from the Mother. Mother, this collective needs guidance on the inner critic. They're aware, but they need some assistance, please. Thanks. Just started raining here, guys. What's the weather like with you? Thanks. We have the Hierophant with Grandmother on the bottom of the deck. You guys can see that. Beautiful card of wisdom there. Love that so much. The first card we've got is the Two of Wands with Flame Bud. And we got the Three of Swords again. Look at that. Oh my gosh. 2, 3 of Swords. I love when this happens. And then the King of Pentacles, the Green Man. I love that. It's a beautiful energy. All right. Last but not least, we're going to pull our message from the Crone. Crone, this collective needs guidance for their inner critic, please. Thanks. Thanks. Oh. The bonus card, Light. This is for working with your shadow. So the light transmute that. Okay. Oh, okay. Ajayu. Inherent in the gift of your precious human life is the opportunity to experience and express an authentic soul journey. As a human, you will muddle along, mess up, and gain insight as to what an authentic life path is for you. This is how you grow into the fullness of your spirituality. Oh no, this is how you grow into the fullness of your spiritually mature humanity. If you have made mistakes or wish that you could have handled something differently, allow regret to inspire a different way rather than lead to self criticism. I'm just going to leave it there, friends. And ridicule. You are an innately pure spiritual being. You are an innately pure spiritual being. It is well. You are pure. You are here to learn and grow. There never was any requirement for perfection. You can take responsibility for the inevitable messes of learning and growing and still celebrate the mysterious magic of your life. Oh man, more words I can't pronounce. Ajayu is a Quechua word, the native language of the indigenous Quechua peoples of the Andes. So sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly. The meaning of which encompasses the intertwined realities of soul, spirit, and cosmos. Again, that kind of goes hand in hand with Ma'at a lot. In the Quechua concept of the soul, there is an understanding that it belongs to both the human body and to the cosmos. Yes, because you are the cosmos. Yes. When there is disruption in the soul, then the body and the cosmos are disrupted too. Yes. Harmony in all three realms is understood as essential to well-being. Culturally defined moral transgressions are considered disruptive to the interrelationship between humanity and the spiritual realms. Yeah, it just creates dogma. And acts of atonement are prescribed by the shaman to restore balance and order. Confession to the shaman is an important initial step towards understanding what appropriate atonement should involve to facilitate healing. This is really long. I don't want to read all this. I'm going to read this because it reminds me of therapy, and I talk about that a lot. To speak freely in a non-judgmental space can unburden the soul. Your soul's not burdened. I keep saying things personally that when I realize it later, I'm like, oh no, that's not actually accurate. Like the other day I said I needed to soothe my soul. My soul doesn't need to be soothed. It's not broken. I need to soothe my ego. I needed to soothe my heart, right? That heart space needed soothing, not my soul. So your soul's not burdened. Your soul's learning. Allowing for clarity and processing of complex experiences. That which hid in the shadows, looming forebodingly, can be rendered far more manageable when reckoned with in the clear light of acknowledgement. Rest my case. Rest my case. Thank you so much. Let's see. So there's also healing practices to do with these cards. So pretty much just talking about a gratitude practice. Connect with your heart. Feel gratitude. Genuinely feel it bubbling in your chest. Feel the warmth that comes from gratitude. And just rest in a safe spiritual space. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. So we're going to bring our awareness. We're going to not be afraid. We're going to do uncomfortable things, challenge ourselves uncomfortably because we know the medicine is worth it. Okay. So we're going to get into this message now. Let's see. The first card from the Maiden is the Page of Wands. You have the King of Wands on the bottom of the deck also. So it feels like this is an area where Yeah, it might be something that you enjoy doing. Maybe it's like me being afraid to sing. The pages are the students, right? So that's the younger energy. But the potential for the King of Wands is there. It's on the bottom of the deck. Oh, and then under that we have strength. So if you have the strength to do uncomfortable things, challenging things, push yourself beyond the limits, despite what you may hear roaring in your head, right? Originally or traditionally, the strength card has a lion. You hear the inner critic roaring. And there's one spiritual teacher that likes to talk about the ego as a toddler with those little pretend steering wheel cars, and you're in the back of the car and they're trying to drive the car and it's not actually working and the kid's screaming. It's like, that's our inner critic. That's our ego trying to be in control. But if you can have the strength to sit in that discomfort, right? Anybody that has children and listens to screaming kids can understand it takes a lot of control to be able to not lose your mind. But in that discomfortable process, you can take this Page of Wands, this beginner energy, and transform it into the King of Wands, because you're going to take the journey of the student, understand that as a human. And on the way here, I kept thinking, I'm just a human. It's fine. I'm just a human, right? There was a card I used to read a lot. It was an oracle card that said, I am defenseless and at peace, because I'm a human and I know I'm not perfect. Anything you say, I probably already said it to myself. So can you become the student of the passions in your life? Because through that journey, it is going to be challenging and hard, right? To continue to do things you love, especially with these two cards coming out, especially with the High Priestess and the Three of Swords. Especially when you can't see, like, should I continue doing this? Am I improving? A lot of times when it comes to your skills and the things that you acquire in your life, it's like planting a seed, right? You don't go dig up the seed to check the progress, but it's growing and doing so much under the surface. One example I love to think about is bamboo. And I'm probably going to have the numbers wrong, guys. Okay, it's not technical, but bamboo grows for a long, long time underground, creates really strong networks and rhizomes and spreads out and gets really established. And then, like, above the ground, you barely see any growth. And then I think it's year 7, all of a sudden it like shoots up. It's massive. And that's how all transformation is. Even when we can't see what's happening, you're listening to the divine guidance that you're receiving, right? You're listening to the divine guidance. Sitting in the in-between, between where everything exists in the spiritual and where the things that do manifest in this physical world, right? And there are, just like Horatio's story, so many things that can cause severe devastation and heartbreak in every area of your life. And in those moments, the inner critic is going to show up, right? The inner critic is going to say, I knew you couldn't do it. You never do it. The inner critic will say, you mess everything up. Why do you always mess everything up? The inner critic will say, you were so close and you just stopped, just like normal. The inner critic will say, your family has never succeeded. Why did you expect you could be any different? Your inner critic can say, they're going to call you a fool. They're going to say, who does she think she is? Who does he think he is? How dare he try to be better than us? The inner critic will call you lazy. But suffering, psychological suffering, not physical suffering, 2 different things, but all psychological suffering, heartbreak, all anxiety, all fear, all of this suffering, with the 3 of Swords being the air card, is mental. No one likes to hear that, but it is. And so when we give our power away to the inner critic, when we stop being the high priestess, sitting in the sovereign energy of the knowing within that it is well with your soul no matter what happens, whether you lose the job, whether you lose the friends, whether your marriage falls apart, whether your children never want to speak to you again, whatever happens, it is well in your soul because your soul is always whole. Now, this body can feel heartbreak. This body can feel extreme grief. I genuinely cannot imagine the pain that Horatio and Anna went through. Losing all, I don't know if it was all of their children, but 4 children in the matter of like 2 or 3 years. What? That's unspeakable, unimaginable pain. But I told you, your soul is always whole. Your soul cannot be destroyed. And so you need to rest in the knowing that it doesn't matter what your inner critic says, whether it says you've lost everything for good. If you can connect with your soul and be in that in-between space, the bridge between the spiritual and the physical, and realize that right now I may not see it. I may not see how this is good. I may not see how this is working for me. Everything could look like my life is falling apart. But I know that if I continue to trust that everything is working for me, it will. Because your life is a reflection of your beliefs. Your life rearranges itself to show you exactly what you want to see. Now, if we move on to the message from the mother, she's given us the 2 of Wands. I've gotten this card a few times, so I kind of want to read it. Flame Bud. I actually marked it, guys. See, look. You can't read it, but so I wouldn't have to flip forever. So you guys would not be tired of listening to me flip through pages. Sorry. Flame Bud, the 2 of Wands. In co-creation and individuation, that's a good word. Carl Jung. Dynamic energy propels pioneers forward as cooperation becomes the driving force behind initiatives for advancement. First line, I'm just going to read this first line. The 2 of Wands signifies taking initiative to shape your destiny. I'm going to keep reading because it's good. It calls you to reclaim your power and embark on a grand creative adventure driven by that dynamic force fueling your desire to create. What's fueling your desire to create, friends? Do you guys know what that is? It's your soul. Your soul is the fuel for everything. You know, when I think of my inner critic and the times in my life where things have been really bad, you know, those crumbling in the shower moments and you just, someone please just, I just remember thinking, why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? I thought that a lot. Why is it so hard? But every single time that you've had a really bad day, you've made it through 100% of your bad days. And in the moment, you didn't think you were going to make it. In the moment, you did not believe that you were going to be able to put the next foot forward. You wanted to listen to the critic that said, just give up. Why even try? Why? Why even try? But the fuel, your soul, it does not allow you to give up. It's like, no, come on, come on, come on. I need to experience more. I want to experience more. That passion that comes through, that flame, it literally just, every time I look back at my life, I just remember like, there's an episode in Bluey where Chili, their mom's like, has a checklist. Whenever something goes wrong, she has a good cry, rushes herself off, and gets back up, right? Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to, in those moments when the critic is showing up, maybe you've never listened to your inner critic, or maybe you've listened too much, right? Most of the time people listen too much, but the reason it comes back over and over and over again is because we don't acknowledge that there was a reason that it was speaking that in the first place. The inner critic is trying to save you from repeating the same patterns. Because at some point in your life, you did something and something bad happened, right? Or you didn't do something and something bad happened. And so that voice just keeps going over and over and over. Because it's trying to prevent this heartbreak again, right? With the 3 of Swords, this repeat card. But when you're in touch with your soul, And you know that you're infinite. Your soul can't be created or can't be destroyed. Your soul is part of the vastness of the universe. It is an essence of God here, now. It gives you the strength and the groundedness to step forward and to really claim the life that you want to live. Yeah, with the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck, that goes very well with the High Priestess. Call upon the elders in your community. Call upon your angels. Ask them to help you. You know, the King of Pentacles is not going to let some random thought destroy his kingdom, right? Everyone has invasive, critical thoughts. Everybody. Now, everybody doesn't handle them the same way. Some people shut them down. Some people listen to them on repeat over and over again. I guarantee you, you don't realize you're doing it. You don't realize it's the same thought, the same voice, the same criticism, just worded a slightly different way. But it is. But the Mother's inviting you to step into this King of Pentacles energy. Look at the determination and the will in those eyes. Nothing in the mind is going to sway the King of Pentacles, right? Now, if we move to the Crone's message, we have the Nine of Cups. Now, well, this is the wishes fulfilled card, but in this Dark Reflections Tarot, she looks just like, ugh. I was talking about those shower moments, right? Where you're like, I can't do this anymore. She looks like that. I don't know what to do anymore. And look at the cobwebs up here. So I'm hearing like these inner criticisms and inner thoughts. They've been around for a while. Maybe they were, internalized criticisms that you actually experienced in your life from a friend or a teacher or a parent. And so they've been stored away for a long time, telling you what you can and can't do, keeping you from resting in the truth that you are whole and you don't need to be fixed. But what I'm hearing from the Crone right now is through your awareness and through your light and through having the courage and the strength to face these criticisms, to face the darkness, right? To face the dark night, to sit in the pain of the dark night, to not wallow in that pain, but to acknowledge that it is there. It never fails. Every time I'm going to do a reading for you guys, the universe or, just my spiritual evolution, I get tested. It always happens. I planned this reading like 2 weeks ago. And this weekend, a lot of inner criticisms and a lot of fear and anxiety come up. Lots of lack, lots of fear. And I still felt it. I felt the fear in my body. My body responded. I constricted. I closed. I was like, I got anxious and irritable. But inside, I reminded myself, I'm not the fear. The fear is not permanent. There is fear. I'm experiencing fear right now. And I can look at that fear and say, yeah, you have a reason to be afraid because you have made mistakes in the past. You have made some really bad decisions in the past. Yes, there's a reason for you to be afraid right now. But now you have the awareness, you have the light to know that. I'm just going to give you an example. I was worried about money, okay? Now, I have been in situations where I've literally had like no money ever, like $40 to my name. So we have money, we're fine, okay? But it's funny, like when your, I guess, level of living starts raising and what's comfortable starts feeling different, right? So that's why having more money is never the answer. You're always going to feel like there's not enough. That's never the answer. And so I was worried about money. And I had to send some money to my brother-in-law to help split the bill for some groceries we got for our trip. And I went into PayPal to send him some money. And guys, this is going to make me sound like an idiot. And that's okay. I'm going to tell you anyway because it's hilarious. I've had PayPal for a very long time. I'm not sure how long I've had it. And we always use it like if we're paying for trips or splitting things, like we always just PayPal each other. Well, for a long time, I would see a little notification, you have money waiting on you. And I would click on it. And I really do think that at one point they had like an application for a credit card in there, because I don't know why else I would think this, but I remember going in, when I clicked on it one time, it asked me to apply for a credit card. I was like, I don't want a credit card. What? So I never, ever clicked on that box again, ever. And it was literally money from my friends and family that has been sitting there for years, that I did not realize I just needed to not click the other thing and click the one beside it. So I was worried about money, right? I went in to go pay him and I realized I had twice as much money in our PayPal account than what I even needed to send him. Now, I could be, in my ego, focused on lack, focused on, oh man, wasn't planning on this. This is right? Or I could say, wow, the universe is so amazing. The universe is so abundant. Like, I've been sitting on this money comfortably for a long time, didn't even know we had it. Money is always flowing to me, and I'm always sending money out because money is just a resource. There's no scarcity of it, right? So you have to really catch yourself when you have these criticisms, right? You're terrible with money. I have been terrible with money. I'm not anymore. Okay? Your inner criticisms define your identity. If you relate to them, they will continue to control your reality of your life, right? So moving on, the Two of Pentacles, you have to really balance back and forth. Balance. Listening to the inner critic to get the wisdom, to get the lesson, right? To give the compassion, but also not repeating the same patterns. Balancing out the wisdom with the fear. Sitting with the fear, sitting with the yes, there is fear, sitting with the yes, there is anxiety. Yes, there is a reason for me to feel this way. But choosing to bring your awareness to it and say, but I'm aware now. I'm not going to complete. I'm not going to live in the same cycles. I'm not going to do the same things because I am aware. I'm choosing to be intentional with the way that I'm responding to these criticisms. I'm not going to shut them away. I'm not going to not listen to them. If you don't listen to it, it's just going to keep coming back louder and louder and louder. You listen to the criticism, but you don't respond from a place of fear. You respond from a place of power, from a place of knowing that your soul is a pure, innate spiritual being. It's beautiful. And when you do that, when you can sit and feel that tension, right? Feel the tension and listen to the tension and still choose to act in the way that's in alignment with who you truly are, who you truly want to experience being in this world. You step into the magician power. Can we talk about transmuting anymore? I mean, seriously, like, you're going to manifest what you want. Everything is mental. Everything is mental. So turning those inner criticisms into power. Because normally there is an ounce of truth in the criticism, even if it's painful, even if it's a truth you don't want to listen to. There's an ounce of truth there because it was born from an experience. That was a painful, heart-wrenching experience, right? But you can use that, right? And in this part in particular, it talks about how you're going to plant the seed for the mighty oak to come through. Use that criticism as your springing board to propel yourself forward and say, you know what? I am going to use my thoughts, my inner criticisms. I'm going to use my energy, that wants, that life force. I'm going to use my emotions. I'm going to use this physical body, and I'm going to manifest the life of my dreams because I have all of the tools, all of the power within me. The universe is you at rest. It's inside of you. It's your soul. Okay? Use this power that your inner criticism brings. This spiritual practice. I love Eckhart Tolle talks about how if you're in like having a bad experience, it's a great chance to really work on your spiritual practice of being present, right? The isness of now, accepting, yeah, this sucks right now. Or there is fear. Like I said, there is fear, there is worry, there is anxiety. And that's in this moment. Can you be like Horatio and say, it is well, even in tragedy? It is well. That takes such strength and inner knowing. And that's somebody that very much knows that they are not just this human body in this moment in time, in this century. I just saw a dragonfly. There's a few of them. It might be somebody's sign for somebody. You are a soul, infinite and eternal. All right, we're going to pull a calm card now from this Vegas nerve deck. Help ground this message into our bodies. Sorry, guys. Okay, cool. One card, please, to help this collective ground this message into their body, please. That one. Lip touch. I think we may have done this one at some point. Your lips contain parasympathetic nerve fibers. When you gently touch your lips, especially with a light, soothing stroke, it can stimulate those nerve fibers, sending signals to your brain that you are safe and can relax. Wherever you are, gently stroke your lips, top and bottom, with a fingertip for 30 seconds. Notice the subtle relaxation response in your body. To enhance this experience, place a pin horizontally in your mouth. The pin will be in contact with the parasympathetic nerve fibers, and holding it in place uses the same muscles as if you were smiling. This small action of mimicking a smile can positively influence your emotional state. Interesting. Lip touch. Give it a try, guys. See if it works. All right, that is going to be the end of this reading. Thank you, guys, if you stayed and joined. Let me hide that. I'm now going to open up the floor for personal readings, and I will leave the poll up for future readings. Let's see who we got in here. Oh, greetings from Africa. I am real. Hello, Marquel. I'm not sure how to say that. If it's Markel or Markela, I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. My name is Markella. Okay. All right. So let's see if Markella, let's do this for her. Let me clear all this off first, Markella. I have a bunch of cards on the table and I don't want to get them all mixed up. Let's see. Where are you from, Markella? From Greece? I want to go to Greece so bad. Oh. Man, it was part of my when I first started meditating and visualizing stuff. That was one of my meditations. I would visualize myself in Greece. I'm going to go there one day. It's going to happen. I'm not going to tell you all the secrets of what I visualized there, but delectable, yummy things. wonderful experiences. Is the weather nice in Greece all the time? Or do you guys get like cold weather? Thank you, Markella. I hope I get to come this year too. That'd be amazing. See, we're in August. When's the best time to come? All right. We're going to work with the Mother's deck for you, Markella. Mother. Markella wants to know if her significant other is thinking about her and if he will be reaching out or will be sending her a message. Oh my gosh, you got the star, baby. Cool. Thank you for that. All right, so is he thinking about you? I got the star, so that's a yes. And then is he going to send you a message? And we'll also get some guidance too, Markella. Thanks. That's more than one card. All right, well, we have the green man on the bottom of the deck. I'm not sure if you do any grounding activities, if you go out and spend time in nature. Maybe sitting by the seaside if you live near. I mean, yeah, Greece. I'm hearing specifically stones for you would be really good. So sitting on stones, sitting near stones. But yeah, so the first card we got is the star. I'm hearing that he really wants to reach out to you. He's very hopeful that something could come out of it if he were to reach out to you. He's definitely, you're very heavy on his mind with the star card, with healing. I'm not sure what happened with you guys. This card in particular talks about lots of destruction and ravaged, like the entire landscape being ravaged, torn apart. So I'm not sure if you guys had a really big fight. What I'm hearing though is I think something needs to happen before he reaches out. I don't know if that's internal work or internal work that he needs to do or internal work that you need to do. But what I am hearing is don't hold your breath here with this Four of Pentacles. Now, this can go either way. It could be, stability for sure. This is going to come through for you. Or it could also be you're holding on too tightly for him to react in a certain way. Oh, thanks, Prime Reaper. Would you like a personal reading? Let me know what you're overthinking about. We can dig into it. But the guidance that you got, Markella, is with the Ace of Cups. Lead with love. All the aces are gifts, right? So lead from a place of love. Lead from a place of curiosity. We have eclipses coming up soon. I'm not sure when. Look into that. It might be powerful for you. I was talking about this earlier, not leading from a place of fear, not choosing from a place of fear, but choosing from a place of power. And love is ultimate power, right? If you can operate in unconditional love, right? Love that is not something that's based on the outcome, but the passion you have for something. Like if you really have passion for him and want to build this relationship, have the courage to look at what made it fail in the first place. What would keep him from reaching out to you? We can't change anybody else's behavior, but we can change our own. And so maybe there was something in the way that you left it where he feels like he can't reach out. Maybe you said, don't message me. A lot of men are very literal. If you tell them not to do something, they're not going to do it. Okay. Even though you're thinking your main, he should know I want him to chase me. Just be honest with what you want. Again, don't hold on to your, don't hold your breath. Don't wait for this. Don't anticipate it, but do what you can to lead from love and set an example of love and be like, look, what is a way that I could usher this relationship back in? Okay. That's what I got for you, Markella. I hope that's okay. Prime Reaper, let me know what's your question. You are so welcome for doing readings. I'm going to use the Chrome's deck for you. I appreciate you guys participating in the poll as well. You're welcome, hun. Let's see. There is a bit of delay in the chat. You'd love a reading, got to go get a sandwich. Do you just want a general reading then? I guess that's fine. Got to go get a sandwich. Hold the phone. I have to go get a sandwich. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, the tower popped out for you. I'll leave that as underlying energy and I'll go ahead and ask. Crone, can we have a general reading for Prime Reaper during this period of hungriness? General reading, please. Oh, a lizard just jumped on the window. All right, so you got the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. And the card that popped out is the Six of Wands. So this was actually in the thumbnail in the beginning of this reading. So this reading that I just did before, like the main reading, may be important for you, Prime Reaper. You might want to check it out. I get this weird vibe that like a lot of things are falling apart in your life right now. Let me see if I can hide this banner. A lot of things are falling apart in your life right now. But it's almost like you're very much celebrating this fact. You're very happy that things are falling apart because you just didn't like the way they were. It's like the things that needed to fall apart because that is the way that you can create the new life that you're looking for. Now, with the Knight of Swords being on the bottom of the deck, yeah, and the Queen of Wands being under that, especially with the Six of Wands coming through, like this is recognition, like success. So whatever it is that you're wanting to attract in your life with the Queen of Wands, with the Knight of Swords coming through, I'm hearing it can come very, very swiftly. I feel like you may have a tendency to be a bit too ruthless in the pursuit of what you're desiring here. So maybe temper that with a bit more charisma and finesse with the Queen of Wands. Be a bit more gentle in your approach. You know, Tower energy is very strong. It can be very disorienting, very disruptive. And with the Knight of Swords being like the fastest knight in the deck, I just want you to make sure that when you're rebuilding from this Tower energy, take it in a way that is like you can have clarity. Clarity is great. Like it's great to act with clarity and to move forward and know what you want and have something to compare it against. But sometimes others can get hurt in the process. Now, I'm not saying that you have to walk on eggshells or tiptoe, but definitely, like if you really want to be able to celebrate and look back at your life and be like, oh man, in this time of, you know, great change, in this time of chaos and confusion, I was able to live in the best way possible. And even though I wanted to say certain things or do certain things, I chose not to say those things. And now I can really look back at my life and be thankful that I had the restraint in those moments of pain and chaos. And I can celebrate myself for having the integrity and living in a way that I'm proud of and building my life up in a way that is honoring everybody and not just myself. I'm not taking advantage of others, but being able to create the life that I want. I'm just hearing something about like sacrifice. Maybe you have a limiting belief that you have to sacrifice something to get what you want. Yeah, because this definitely looks like it's very vicious. And I don't think that needs to happen. So know that the success is yours, Prime Reaper. Okay. I'm not saying this is something that's going to take a long time to come in for you. Like, I feel like it's already here, honestly, to be honest. It feels like this energy is here. There's just something about, yeah, just don't be so ruthless. Just take a couple breaths before you say anything or make a decision and center yourself first. Okay. That's all I got for you, bud. Anybody else have a reading request? You can put it in the chat. Happy to do a personal reading for you today. How did I do what? I did do yours. If you were gone, you can catch it in the replay. That was pretty spot on. I have a friend of mine that, I mean, we're not like close friends, but we just met, and she knows that I do tarot. And are you familiar with like quantum mechanics or anything? Like quantum physics? Because the way reality works is there's information all around us. Like the space around us is full of information. Yeah, it is real. I'm not making anything up, friend. I'm just tuning into the information that I feel when I'm looking at your username and picture, connecting with you. Like we're quantumly entangled right now. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. Even a lot of times I'll get information like that is ridiculous. I'm not saying that. But, and it's because people, oh, wow, that's awesome. Oh, man, I love how things work, but electric stuff, no bueno. Does not work for me. Are you about to graduate or something? Because I was talking about everything being around you. You can tap into it too. You just it just doesn't make sense to your logical brain. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Whenever you get information, whenever you get downloads and you're connecting with people, it's like, this does not make sense. What? And it's not meant to make sense to you. You're tuning into someone else's reality. Second semester. Cool. Where are you going to school? Where are you from? Anybody else would like a personal reading? Pop it on in. I did one for Prime Reaper and Michaela. Wasn't Michaela. What was it? Markella. Sorry, Markella. I have ADHD, so don't really remember things very well. There's also a slight delay in the chat, so if I don't respond right away, that is why. I'm not ignoring you. Makes sense why you said you had to go grab a sandwich. That's funny. Are you in your dorm room or something? Oh, sweet. You're from Germany? I actually had another viewer, Cinderella. She came and joined her name is actually Cinderella. Isn't that so cool? Oh, love that. She joined the chat a little while ago, a couple of readings ago, and I read for her. Originally from Egypt. I was talking about Egyptian gods and Ma'at. See, look right here. Love her. She's amazing. I don't want to get a tattoo of her on me. Does anybody else want a personal reading? Be happy to pull for you guys. I enjoy doing this much more than lots of other things in life. Oh yeah. Oh, do I just need to pull a random card and start reading? Let's see what we can get. South Carolina, so the southern part of the U.S., southeast side. I live at the tip of South Carolina, right near North Carolina. It's a wonderful location because we're just a few hours from the coast, so we can go to the beach. I mean, beautiful places. And then I'm also a few hours from really beautiful mountains, the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee. So fantastic location. Highly recommend. You can check it out. The Appalachian Mountains, if you like mountains, are very beautiful. So that they run from, I'm probably wrong, they're really long. Not really. Kinda. So we're above Florida. Let's see, it's Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. So we're close to the bottom of the eastern side. Mississippi's like a couple states to the west of us. It still takes a long time to get to Mississippi from here. We went there 2 years ago. No, last summer we went there on vacation, and it took 12 or 13 hours to drive. So, I mean, it's not too far, but definitely not as close as North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee. Yeah, they're gorgeous. They're so gorgeous. We were in Tennessee this weekend, and oh, there's a cardinal in front of me. Hey, baby. There's like bushes in front of my window in the office. Sorry, distracted. ADHD. But yeah, we were in Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains, and oh, it was gorgeous. We had a mama bear come through with her baby cubs, and I was on the deck drinking some coffee, and we heard this crunching sound. Like, what the heck is that sound? It sounded like somebody was like knocking things over, and it was this massive, like she was probably 500 pounds, mama bear, and then there was a couple of baby bears with her. They were different ages. It was pretty cool. You should definitely visit. It's really beautiful. My friend that I was talking about earlier, she actually lives in England. She's from Spain. Her and her family took a family trip to Hilton Head in South Carolina, the bottom of the state. And I actually had went there too. So I thought that was really cool. If you want to visit, it's a beautiful place. Very lovely. It's a beach. Oh, why is this card backwards? Is anybody else? They are protective for sure. Like we were on the deck, so we were all safe. It wasn't anything for us to worry about or anything. But even where I live, we have bears. Coming up the driveway, we have dogs. And at one point, our dogs had freed a mama bear and 3 cubs. And we didn't know what was going on until we went down and saw what they were looking at. And they had the bears. So we're like, oh, come on, you guys come up here. And we had to get the dogs away. So even where I live, there's lots of bears. But I mean, most of the time, they just don't really bother you as long as you're not like threatening their babies, right? Would anybody else like a personal reading? Happy to pull one for you. Prime Reaper like tis. There you are. See, he said he liked his reading. Monica, would you like to have a reading done? And let me know if you want to pull a card for myself. I'll do Monica's and then I'll pull mine. Okay. Let's see. All right, Monica, let me know what kind of reading you want. Just general? I'm really feeling called to the Mother's deck today. Cecilia, honey, it's so good to see you. I didn't know you were here. All right, Mother, can we have some general guidance for Monica? General guidance for Monica, please. Yeah. Monica and her partner are having difficulties. Can we please have some guidance, please, Mother? We have the Chariot on the bottom of the deck. That's gorgeous. The Ten of Cups. The Seven of Cups. And the Hierophant. Okay, so I'm not laughing at you, Monica, but Cecilia's got me in a chokehold over here. ADHD is hard. Yes, darling. I've forgotten things talking to Prime Reaper like quite a few times. It's hard. Okay. The first thing I heard, Monica, when I was looking at these cards with the Seven of Cups, like there are infinite possibilities with this relationship with what could happen. And things can happen very quickly with the Chariot. Things can change very, very quickly. It feels like you are definitely leading the reins here with the situation. You have some power in this relationship that you're not aware of. With the Hierophant coming out, what I'm hearing is you definitely need to look at your commitments, look at what you're valuing in this relationship. You need to determine not if he's going to come back, but if this relationship is in alignment with what you are wanting to experience in your life. Okay. You may have limiting beliefs with what a relationship should look like. And that might have something to do with what he's able to pour into this relationship. Okay. Maybe there are lots of ways this relationship could work out, but they're not the ways that you have envisioned. You have a very specific thing that you want to experience, and it may not be something that he can offer you right now. But with the Ten of Cups, what I'm hearing is you can experience whatever it is that you're wanting in your life. If you want contentment and fulfillment and happy family bliss, if you want to have a family, and if you want to be able to be in a stable relationship, that is something you can definitely experience. Now, I'm feeling called to pull the Ten of Cups and read this for you. This deck in particular has characters. So this is actually the Lunar Cup is the story. So we're going to read that for you just to give you a little bit more guidance. Okay. The Lunar Cup. Embrace your happiness with both hands and claim it wholeheartedly. What I say, you can have whatever you want, okay? But you need to claim it. You need to claim it with the Hierophant. Like you need to draw up a contract. Like this is what I want to experience in my life. This is what I want relationships to be like. I am willing to like set boundaries. I'm willing to do these things, right? I'm willing to do some of these things, but some of these other things with the Seven of Cups, no, not happening. And you have to really stand firm in those boundaries. You're entering a time of genuine fulfillment and deep emotional connection. All right, the narrative for this story. The wild and ancient moon is a clever shapeshifter. Oh, I love moon energy. It's so beautiful. At times of great power, when the moon is full and blood red, the lady herself steps forth, changing her shape to herald a sign. It is said the goddess herself drinks out of the sacred chalice, her lips touching its form. It's very interesting because lip touch was the card we got at the very end of our message to regulate our nervous system. So maybe you need to go back and watch this full reading if you didn't catch it, Monica, okay? Because I did a main reading before I started doing personals. Those who walk the path, oh wait, hold on. The mere sight of it is breathtaking. Those who walk the path of the old ways recognize such a sign in the sky. There is a quiet understanding. Those who know may have many reasons to rejoice, for the Lunar Cup is no small sign. The Lunar Cup, or great chalice of the lady, marks the beginning of peace in a world of chaos. It is the time to drink, love, and laugh in her name, rejoicing in the splendor of a cycle of harmony. And here's some prompts you can work with, Monica. What does happiness mean to you? What was I saying? Get clear on what you want. What are you willing to accept? What are you not willing to accept? The question shouldn't be, is he going to come back? The question should be, do you want him to come back? Can he fulfill a partnership in a way that you want to experience? Because you have the potential for happiness. You have the potential for fulfillment. You have the potential for real love and connection here. But you need to determine, what does happiness mean to you? What would it take for you to be truly happy right now? What is one of your greatest aspirations? And if you could bless your entire family with a gift, what would that gift be? Oh, those are beautiful questions. All right, Monica, I'm going to do one more thing for you. There is a video by Joe Hudson that discusses questions you can ask yourself. Now, I know you guys are already split, right? You're asking, or maybe you're not split. Yeah, you said, is he going to come back? They're questions you can ask yourself when you're trying to decide if you want to stay with somebody or not. And when I was reading them, they're really, really, really good questions. So I will go back in the replay and link that video for you in the description. I would highly recommend checking it out because it'll give you some really great guidance, okay? Not just a random woman on the internet telling you what to do. He really knows his stuff. He's worked with thousands of people. He can really, it's good advice. So I'll link that for you in the replay. If not, his channel is Joe Hudson. The Art of Accomplishment, I believe, is his channel. You just want to go look for it yourself. All right, if anybody else wants a personal reading, let me know. Cecilia asked me to pull a card for myself, so I'm going to do that for Cecilia. But if anybody else would like a personal reading, please let me know. Happy to pull for you. Maiden. Humbly ask for some guidance for myself. What do I need to know in this moment, please, for the highest good of me and all around me? All right. Cecilia, ADHD, my darling. We got the Ace of Cups on the bottom. Not the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Cups on the bottom. You know Kayla's a dreamer. You know she got all these ideas up in her head. You know she get distracted. Guess what she got? The Ace of Swords with Quill. Why don't we read the story? We're having fun today. Just chilling with everybody. You're so welcome, Monica. I hope it's helpful for you. Oh, it's going to be at the beginning. Duh, Kayla. You know this. All right, this is guidance for me. If anybody else would like a personal reading, let me know in the chat. Happy to pull. I've pulled for a few people. Hey, Vibing Live. If you'd like a reading, let me know. The Ace of Swords. Clarity and the potential to start an intellectually demanding project are at hand. Write your intentions, clear your mind, and reconnect with simple, enriching experiences for lasting inspiration. I do need to write my intentions. I really do need to write my intentions. Well, I'm already connecting with experiences that enrich me. I love going live and reading for people and talking to people because it just makes me sound bad. I don't care if you guys say it's right or not, but I just have fun doing it. Let's see. We'll do the narrative for the Quill. Quill is the keeper of chronicles, the great conveyor of truths and fallacies, but the mind behind it is the driving force. It is inventive, inspired, and, as such, a sacred part of the world tree. It must first begin as a thought, a seed, a moment of clarity amidst the chaos of life. I love that so much. It must first begin as a thought, a seed, a moment of clarity amidst the chaos of life. Thank you, Cecilia, for asking me to do this. This is it feels so good right now. Those who wield the quill create the history that shapes our perspectives of the world. Great care must be taken to ensure the purity of the mind that drives quill. Sadly, such care is no longer held in high esteem. Instead, it is the victor who shapes the narrative, whether right or wrong. One must be cunning as they are discerning in order to feel the truth hidden between any lines of any tale. That's so interesting, darling, because I've been trying to figure out what to do with the channel. Um, Obviously, just doing readings that I want to do has not been super successful. And so I'm trying to follow advice that tells you how to get people to click on your stuff, right? Do readings that they want to see. But I honestly literally thought about doing a reading or doing a video that says tarot's keeping you stuck. Here's why. Because we all go to tarot for external guidance and external validation. And even I do. I did this. I started doing tarot to discover myself. But I was working with myself, right? So if you're using tarot for yourself, while the cards are external, it's your interpretation of the cards. It's your meaning that you are giving to the cards. So there's still your own truth that you are providing, right? But when we have other people read for us, we're kind of giving our power away, especially if we're not looking at these readings and trying to decide, is this truthful? Is this really what's going to happen? Or am I just hoping this is what's going to happen? You know, a lot of times there was a point in my life where I love Reem. Her readings are amazing. But I remember I was so frustrated with my life and I kept getting all these good things are going to happen. Good things are coming. And I just got so frustrated. I was like, you know what? If that's true, why isn't it here? I've been hearing this forever. Why isn't it here? And I feel like tarot has the potential to do that for you, right? If you keep thinking that your fate is outside of you and that it's some cosmic thing that you're not an active participant in, then we lose ourselves and we lose our power. But I'm trying to use tarot as a way to remind people that they have the answers within themselves. And that is definitely when we're talking about having, where's the word? Great care must be taken to ensure the purity of the mind that drives quill. I can't be doing these like readings with some type of hidden agenda, right? Like I want you guys to know, like I'm here to support you. I want to give you clarity because I know what it's like to not have it. But I also want to remind you that you always have the clarity within yourselves. Like that truth comes from inside you. I'm just confirming it. You know the truth. You know the truth. And that's why tarot works, because you're making meaning yourself, right? You're making meaning yourself. So that's why this is hitting me really hard, because I'm struggling right now trying to figure out which way to go with the channel. Like, I can go and post the drama that everybody clicks on, but then whenever I start talking the way I talk, nobody's going to stay. Because Kayla doesn't do the drama, right? I'm all about peace and presence and being here in the moment and connecting to yourself and enjoying the little pleasures in life and talking to a stranger on the internet and sharing a moment together. Like, I want to thank you all for sharing your time with me today, being here with me right now, making my day so much better because you decided to interact with me, to have connection with me. So thank you for that. But yeah, Cecilia, that's why this is hitting me so hard, because it's like, I have to be in the right headspace. I have to be coming at this in the right heart space, aligning, right? You know, just because you have good intentions doesn't mean that you should be speaking. So let's see. Here are the journal prompts for this card. In what area of your life do you feel the most inspired? For me, in my life right now, I feel most inspired about the channel. I am. I don't want to get into my personal life too much, but there are some things that I never thought would happen that are unfolding in my life in a beautiful way. So I'm inspired by that too. But I've gotten to a place where I'm okay with whatever. Like, it's so funny when I'm going to curse, when you stop giving a fuck about what's going to happen, things actually start to happen. Oh, what techniques help you clear your mind? Well, for me, it's breath work. Going outside and listening to birdsong helps me clear my mind so much. Speaking out loud my problems or my thoughts or writing them down helps me clear my mind. I love talking out loud. And that's why tarot has been so good for me, because it's like a verbal journaling session for me, honestly. Because you pull the card, and like you're speaking the truth, or like, even if you're just doing it for yourself and you're not, you're just doing it in your head. You're narrating in your head. Do you believe you have strong leadership characteristics? Yes, I do. Describe your best leadership skills. My best leadership skill is connection, because I genuinely care about people and I genuinely want to get to know people. And so in creating connection and talking to people, I do. If you have a personal reading request, I will do it in just a minute. I have 2 more after I finish this, but I will do the Jimmy No Stops. But connecting with real people creates trust naturally, because I'm going to be me. Like, I don't have the patience to be anybody else, honestly. And oh, I love you so much. You're the best, Cecilia. You know, it's so funny. I'm thinking about trying my hand at being an author. Probably publish under a pen name, because I want to write some spicy novels. Oh, I actually have like 2 whole series already planned out and kind of outlined. And they're like interwoven worlds. But I didn't want to get distracted from this channel right now, because this really does bring me so much joy and peace. So, what else was this question? Oh, yeah, but my best leadership skill would be connecting with people. Because you just have to be present to connect with people. People act like it's so hard. No, it's not. You just have to literally, when you ask a question, genuinely give a fuck about what they say. Not hard. It's not. It just requires you to be present. Let's see. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. What is the very first thought that comes to mind? All right, you ready? Let's all do it. Close your eyes and take a deep breath with the very first thought that comes to mind. Let me know in the chat. For me, the very first thought that came to mind was, you can do a specific question if you would like, whatever you would like, the Jimmy No Stops. The very first thing that came to mind was swimming in the river. I grew up swimming in the river, and it's just fond memories. I take my kids there, take our dogs there. Lots of fun. Why that thought? That was the next question. Why the thought that you have? Because when I was breathing, I felt at peace. And I always feel at peace at the river. Any type of water, I feel peaceful around. Nobody let me know. What was your thought? What was your thoughts, guys? What was the first thought you had after the deep breath? All right, now I'm going to go back and do the rest of these readings. Thanks, Cecilia. It's nice to be seen. It's nice to be included. All right, let me go up for a second and ask this one question for Rahana Khan. Okay, so last time Rahana spoke to Richard was 3 weeks ago. You know, I don't know why I don't do this. I can actually show you guys his comments. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Duh. He said, I love you 3 weeks ago. So the question is, will Richard Khan contact Rahana soon? Mother, will Richard Khan contact Rahana soon? He does love you. I can feel it. You got the 6 of Cups on the bottom of the deck with the farmer and his wife. We are going to read his story because I've never got to read it before, and this card is just so precious. Look at that adoration on his face and devotion and those flowers. Isn't that beautiful? All right, and then we also have the Page of Wands is the card that came out. I'm hearing that he passionately wants to talk to you. Like it's burning in him. He really does want to speak to you. There are some things that are constraining him at this time. I'm not sure what that is, but it's going to take some inner fire on his part to be able to reach back out to you. But when he does, the message is going to be so sweet, so thoughtful, so beautiful. We're going to read this card real quick because I feel like it's definitely your message. Okay. The Six of Cups, the farmer and his wife. Let creative riches be your remembrance and virtue your beauty. Oh. Nurture your mind, body, and spirit, finding equilibrium and through it, reconciliation with your authentic self. Okay, so I feel like he's going through some type of healing right now where he needs to stop hiding parts of himself. He actually has to be able to step in the fullness of who he is to be able to really show his love to you properly. Let's see what the narrative is. The farmer visits his wife's grave daily, bringing a posy of forget-me-not as a symbol. Posy? I don't know. Bringing a handful of forget-me-nots as a symbolic gesture of his enduring affection. Although time may have aged him and the land he toils has slowly depleted, he still comes every day. The love in his heart for his wife will never fade. She was everything. Now that he is left alone in this world, he lives every day in a state of nostalgia. Yeah, honey, like he loves you. He's gonna, he just has to find this inner power to release these chains of like hiding his truth from you. If you can be gentle with him, it will be helpful. If you cannot put pressure on him, if you can accept him as he is in this moment, it will help him be able to reach out to you. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, let's do the next one. Let's see. Vibing Life 22. Will Booty and you eventually come together, work things out relationship wise? Let's see what we can get for you there, darling. Will Booty and Vibing Life 22 eventually come together and work things out for their relationship, please, Mother? And sorry to anybody else that was here earlier and I didn't put your comment on the screen. I just forgot. ADHD. That's what happens. Well, you have the Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck here with the King of Pentacles. So I feel this is a definitely green flags all around. Yes, yes, yes. What I'm hearing is there's some cycles. Oh, look, the Two of Cups is under that. All right, Vibing Life 22. There are some cycles in this relationship that you guys have been living out that have consumed you both, and you have lost sight of where the passion, where this life together, where this relationship can be beautiful. Now, what I'm hearing with this King of Pentacles, you know what? I'm going to read this because there's actually a beautiful story there too. We're going to read the Green Man, okay? His narrative is very beautiful. The Green Man is a primal force to be reckoned with. His magic and majesty are the wild heart that beats through every sentient creature, holding sway over the primal force surging through all creation. He is the roar, the tooth, the blood, and the venom. No one knows how this ancient being came to be. Some say he is a shadow cast by trees, other that he is a cave dweller who lives in the center of the earth, forever caressing his other half, the Great Mother. Humans will pray to him. They will pray to be reminded of the majesty and sovereignty inside them. His wild nature embodies life, reminding everyone of their beating hearts and urging them to run wild and free. So what I heard is for this to work out, there's definitely a lot of passion, a lot of chemistry and attraction here. But something that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to let him be this wild man. Okay. Like, stop trying to control him. And it's probably not in a way where you're doing it on purpose. Like, it's probably he does something and it makes you feel self-conscious or it makes you feel uncomfortable. And so you respond and like, can you stop doing that? Stop. You're embarrassing me. Stop, stop, stop. But you have to be willing to fully accept the wildness of who he is and fully accept the wildness of who you are. Do you see yourself? The majesty of you, the sovereignty of you? Are you living authentically? Are you allowing your passions to come through and using that passion as a gift in your life? Right? Because this Two of Cups, like this is love, darling. This is lasting love and partnership and committed partnerships. So it's definitely there, but you have to stop the patterns of nagging. Just came through. I didn't want to say it, but if you've been nagging at all, like, where are you at? What are you doing? If you need to label something, that could be a problem. Be confident in who you are and realize that you are the prize, right? You are the prize. You don't have anything to prove. So it doesn't matter what other people think. Okay. When you can step into that and let him be wild and let yourself be wild, you have this beautiful potential together. Okay. I do think you can. With the king here, this is very mature energy. It feels like it's definitely going to take some work, but you can definitely work it out. Okay. Again, I highly recommend Joe Hudson's work. Go check out his channel. You'd like more advice. Okay, let's see. Cecilia, what did you mean by family, darling? You calling me family because you're my family too? Or do you have a question about your family? Oh, I can't pronounce that. I'm just going to say no to your question. I just got no. I don't even feel like I need to pull a card. I just got no. That's the answer. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry, Vibing Life. I pronounced it wrong. Cheryl, I'll do you next, okay? I'm gonna finish the Jimmy no stops, and then I was just trying to catch up on what Vibing Life had been saying. Okay. So we're gonna do the Jimmy no stops. Let's see. I'm feeling the crone for you, Jimmy. Oh, that's not cool. So you just want general guidance on how to deal with the situation, Jimmy? Or is there a specific question that you have in mind? Like, that is rough energy. So that's your question. Sorry. This is your question. So did they reach out to this person and ruin the connection? Oh, family. Oh, God, sorry. Sorry, Cecilia. Cool, that makes sense. Okay, are they communicating? Oh, gotcha. Crone, can we give guidance for the Jimmy no stops? Are the stalker and this person he was trying to reach out with, are they communicating? Like, what's happening here? Four of Pentacles. You can ask another question, Kaja. I don't think I understood your question because the way I read it does not seem like it would surprise you. The Jimmy no stops. Four of Pentacles. I'm just going to give it to you the way it came through to me. I feel like they are definitely being fed information. The person you were talking to was definitely being fed information from this other person. I do think that the person you're talking to is not just taking them at face value. With the Seven of Pentacles here and this person reading, it does feel like they are trying to evaluate for themselves what is true, what is not true. With the moon here, there are some things that they can't see clearly, and I think you also can't see clearly. I just heard you might need to set up. Goodness, Kaja, where are these questions coming from? You could set some type of trap, like you could plant some type of information and see if it gets passed along. And that could be a way for you to prove to this other person that you are being stalked, and like whatever they're saying, they're just trying to turn it around. Take it or leave it if you don't want to do that. We'll get one more card for how you should handle it, because that was just me. Thank you. Biased advice. How should Jimmy handle this, please? All right, we have the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So that's clarity. That is, standing in your truth, not dropping that truth, no matter what the situation around you, how it unfolds. With the Five of Cups, I'm hearing you need to be very careful. You do not want to act in a way that's going to lead you to regret, right? You don't want to have remorse. You definitely need to be deliberate and plan how you act. Don't just act spontaneously. Take your time. Make sure that what you're reaching for here, what information you're reaching for, what emotion you're reaching for, make sure that you are taking all the precautions you can, whether that's working. You need to work with somebody else. Like I'm hearing like either a therapist needs to be involved or you need to go to the law enforcement. Make a plan together. Twos are about connection together. Okay, yeah, Kaja, I can do one. That's fine. So the question is, see, I didn't understand your question. Okay, that makes more sense. I thought you meant you just got a lot of money. Are you going to have to give it back? That's what I thought you meant. You're welcome, Jimmy. Jimmy No Stops. Not sure if that helps or not. Just don't act spontaneously is what I'm hearing. Like definitely make sure you are having all the facts before you decide to respond. I'm going to do, let's see, Kaja's, and then I'll do Cecilia. No, not Cecilia. Cheryl. I'll do Cheryl after I do Kaja's. So it's, do you see jail time for me? That's the question. Okay. Do you see jail time for me? Chrome. Is there going to be jail time for Kaja? No way. No way, Jose. You got the Nine of Pentacles. This is the self-made independent woman. You can't be independent in jail. No way. No way. Six of Wands. Success. Freedom. Recognition. If you say this is owed to you, it's going to be acknowledged. Nine of Pentacles. Abundance. No worries. Just remember, okay, in your reality, what you focus on is what you're giving your attention and your energy to. Do not focus on the potential of jail. Focus on the abundance and how that is in your inheritance. That is your birthright. Focus on that. Do not focus on any other negative outcomes. Even when it comes to like debt or like when you want to be debt free, you think that's positive. No, you're focusing on debt. That's not how you focus on abundance. Focus on inheritance. Focus on what is rightfully yours. Okay. All right, let's see. This is going to be the last one that I do. We're going to do Cheryl's. When is Cheryl meeting her soulmate and where? I normally only do one question, but I'll go ahead and do two. When is Cheryl meeting her soulmate? Do that first. You're not gonna like this. Oh, okay. We got the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. All right, so when I asked when, the moon popped out. Unknown, unseen, things hidden. There's something about fear that needs to be worked through in your subconscious. I'm seeing this animal here that looks like afraid. It almost feels like you are actually afraid to be able to receive the love and abundance of a soulmate, that connection. I'm not sure if it's an unworthiness thing, if you think that all good things that come to you are always taken away from you. There's some type of subconscious pattern that you need to work through before this soulmate can come through. Again, with the Seven of Pentacles, I asked where. So in the work, in the evaluation, in the grounded things that you're doing in your life, the actions you take to work through those subconscious programming. This person may actually, you might meet them like right after you finish a therapy session, or you may meet them after you're leaving like some type of group support. With the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, it's going to take some intentional and diligent action to be able to get to this point, okay? Again, with the High Priestess, this is the veil between the spiritual and the physical world, the things unseen and the things seen. So again, with that, the idea of there is something that needs to be worked through that you cannot see, some type of fear, some type of limiting belief. And I'm feeling you definitely need to work with others. Don't try to do this on your own. That has something to do with meeting the soulmate, okay? What I got for you, Cheryl. Oh my goodness, guys, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to share this afternoon with you guys. I hope the readings have been helpful. Oh, 144. It's one of my angel numbers. Remember, friends, you're so powerful. You're so special. Each and every one of you is required to make this world what it is required for the universe to experience what that reality looks like. Your life is important. You matter. Okay? So don't ever forget that. I do readings live every day. I haven't actually been consistent with the time. So unfortunately, they're scheduled for 8:30 normally, but I think I might move them later so that people on the West Coast can actually join too. But if you just want to join the channel and turn on notifications, you'll be notified when I go live. Okay. That way you can ask your personal readings in the chat like everybody else did. So I just always love to remind everybody on this channel, always come as you are and stay as you become. Bye, friends.